Okay, so today we're going to talk about washing your dog, giving your dog a bath, giving your dog a shower, whatever you want to call it. And obviously you're going to have to make adjustments depending on where you live. I'm from Canada. I live in Barbados now, but I am from Canada, and obviously you can't just get the hose out in the middle of January and hose down your dogs. But that's exactly what I'm going to do today because we got warm weather all year round down here in Barbados. So the first thing you want to do is just get totally set up. So I got the hose here, I got a leash, I got my shampoo, and I got some towels up there on the fence. By the way, in terms of shampoo, you could just get any kind of dog shampoo from your pet store or whatever, or talk to your vet if your dog has special skin conditions or anything. But I just buy this just from the pet store or even the grocery store. In the dog section, you can get some shampoo. So I'm not using anything special. I've got 3 dogs, so I put 2 of them away so they're out of the way. The third one here is probably not going to want to come because he's not a big fan of baths. So he's usually a pretty obedient dog, but today I'm probably going to have to chase it. So let's try and let's see what happens. Fife, come. Come on. So you can see he's not really making any motion to come. So all I'm going to do is just walk over and just clip him on. And then we'll just bring him back over and hook him up. Come here, buddy. Yeah, good boy. So your leash is going to be handy for this in the first place, and then once you start washing your dog down, the leash will be handy to keep him in the same general vicinity that you need him in. So the first thing you're going to see, like, dogs have different approaches, you know, so some love it, some hate it, whatever. So you can see he's not loving it. His body language clearly is not loving it. But that's no problem. So he just has to do it. So we just go ahead and do it. So a lot of times people just baby their dogs and don't make their dog do anything that they're uncomfortable with. So I'm doing this off to the side for a bit, just so that there's the sight and the sound. Without him feeling it at the same time as the sight and the sound, he can kind of get accustomed to the sight and sound of the hose without it being right on him. So I'm going to make it as easy on him as possible, but he just has to do it. So you don't stress too much if your dog's not a big fan of bath time. So then all I'm going to do is just hold him, spray him down. For the face, what I do is I cover up the eyes with my hand, and then that way you're not spraying pressurized water directly into the dog's eyes. All right, so there, I got him nice and wet. So I'm going to hang on to the leash so he can't run away from me here. Get some shampoo. See, he's trying to run away, so I'm just stepping on the leash. This is the part that most dogs will tolerate reasonably well, is a little rub down. So once you start massaging, a lot of dogs are in their glory. They enjoy it. It's like, feels like affection for them, right? So I just gonna lather it right on. Rub it in, nice and good. Right. So this part, he's not really tempted to move away so much on this part as when the hose is operative, because this part actually feels kind of nice, doesn't it? And so it's a little bit of give and take, right? I'm gonna make you stand here while I spray you down, but then you're gonna get a little spa treatment and get a little massage, which makes it worthwhile, right? So make sure I get all underneath, genitals, everything, in all the little folds of skin, in all the little crevices and like the armpits and stuff. I don't know if armpits is the technical term for a dog, but I think you know what I mean. Just gonna shampoo him real nice. Yeah, good boy. And then after this, all I'm going to do is just rinse him off, which again, he's not going to be such a big fan of. But you got to do what you got to do. Everybody needs a bath sometimes, right? All right, so done with that part. So again, I'm going to hang on to the leash so I don't have to chase him all around the yard. And then we're just going to rinse him right off. So again, I'm going to start the water away from him. so that doesn't startle him and doesn't surprise him. He sees the running and everything. And then I'll just give him a rinse off. Even this part feels reasonably good because he's getting some pets, getting a bit of something of a massage here while I rinse him off. So this is like the next best thing to, with the water not spraying on him, getting his massage with the water not spraying. This is better than the first step, at least when it's just plain water. And he's going from dry to wet, and he's getting sprayed. This isn't so bad as that first stage, is it, buddy? Still not a big fan. You can see his body language. He's not loving it. And again, I'm careful here not to spray pressurized water directly into his ears or directly into his eyes. So when I need to get near the ears and the eyes, I'm going to go ahead and cover so that water will still run, but so that there's nothing directly going straight into his eyes. And then, like I said, you got to get that soap or shampoo into the armpits. But the corollary of that is you got to make sure you rinse out those armpits. Otherwise, you're just going to leave shampoo in there long term, which I imagine is probably not the best thing. All right, stand. Come on, stand. Good boy. And then same thing, since you got all that shampoo underneath, you got to give a rinse all the way underneath. Everywhere that you put shampoo, obviously, you got to rinse. It's kind of goes without saying, but I might as well say it while I'm making this little video. And then just the tail. Rinse off that tail. And we're done. So I'm just going to dry him off now. But one thing I want to point out is, like, you can see that though he was uncomfortable with it in the beginning, I just insisted. And then he basically just accepts, okay, well, this is going to happen. I might as well just accept it. And so you can see here, he doesn't want to come even right now. Come here. But the best thing with your dogs, not being mean, but just being insistent and firm. Like, yeah, we're going to do this. So I'm calm and kind with my dogs. But I'm also just like, well, it's bath time, so you're going to get washed whether you like it or not. And eventually, even if they're not big fans of it, my dogs just come to just accept it. And like, he did not want to come, as you saw at the beginning. Once he saw I got the hose and the towels and the shampoo out, he knew what was up. He knew it was bath time and didn't want to come, but it's not too much of a fight, you know? So just stick with it. Just be calm and kind, but firm and persistent. Stand. And your dogs eventually just realize that bath time's not really an optional thing, but that when it's time to get washed, it's going to happen one way or another. And then they just get the hang of it. I'm not going to bother to do the other two dogs on this video just for the sake of time. You can kind of see what's up. But, all right, free dog. But one last thing I would just point out is pick a hot time of day to do this. So don't do it at like 6 in the morning when it's still cool, or like, especially don't do it at like 5, 6 in the evening when you still got a little bit of light, but it's cooling down and the sun's disappearing, because then your dog's going to be wet and cold as the night cools off, and he's not going to have a chance to dry. So right now it's like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But yeah, I mean, if you do it like noon, 1 o'clock on a Saturday or whatever, that's great, because then, especially once you towel them off, I like to towel, again, I'm not sure whether the armpit is the technical name or whatever, but I like to towel off all in there so that they don't have moisture just sitting in the crevices of their body. So I like to towel all of that off, but obviously he's still going to be a little bit damp. But now he's got a good couple of hours left of hot sun before the sun sets. So he'll dry off nicely, and now he's nice and clean. So I think I will just leave it at that for this video, and I'll do the other two dogs off camera today. So that's how you wash your dog.